Let me tell you a story about the time Jesus Christ came to one of my photo shoots. So it's 2008, and I did this photo shoot with Lindsay Lohan, and I didn't get paid on it by her yucky business partners. It was the only lawsuit I've ever been in my life, and I sued, and I didn't tell anyone about it because it's embarrassing. But then, the media has a way of finding things out, and it showed up everywhere in the tabloids. And my friend Rebecca called me one morning from Malibu, and she said, "Hey, did you see the New York Daily News today?" And I said, "No, I don't read that trash." And she said, "You should read it today because you're in it." And I said, "Oh, no, why?" And she goes, "Are you suing Lindsay Lohan?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "I didn't tell anybody." So anyway, I read the article. I didn't look bad in it at all, and here's what it looks like. And then as soon as I finish that article, I go to column over, and it says, "Billionaire X sued for sexual harassment by so-and-so CEO." And I go, "Oh, no way. I know him and I know her." So a few minutes later, I get a friend request from the girl. And I hit accept. And then she asked me, she said, "How did your case resolve?" And I said, "All I'm legally allowed to say is it was resolved amicably, and I'm pleased with the decision. Very pleased with the decision." And she goes, "No way, that's all I'm legally allowed to say." And I said, "Okay, are you still a scientist?" And she says, "No, I don't do that anymore. I'm a mirror medium and a psychic." And I said, "Oh, dear." And I believe in psychics, and I always have, and I've had amazing experiences with them. But that's a big leap to go from a PhD in genetics from an Ivy League school to being a medium. So she says, "I have an idea." And all I could think of was, here we go. She's going to ask me for money. And she says, "I'm not going to ask you for money." So I'm like, all right, that's an outlier. So she says, "Let's make a deal." She goes, "Let me do a reading for you. And if you love it, and I mean really love it, take my portrait sometime. And if you think it was BS and you didn't get anything out of it, you don't owe me anything." So I said, "All right, let's do it right now." And she goes, No, let's do it on Thursday." And I said, "What, so you can Google me and LexisNexis me?" And she says, "Trust me, I will tell you things that cannot be found on the internet." So I said, all right. So I call her and we get ready for the meeting, and she says, "You're trying to find your biological father." Now, I had told nobody this, and over the course of 15 or so years, every few years I'd hire another private investigator to try to find my birth father, and no one was able to come up with anything. And the fact that she knew this was amazing. So I said, "Yeah, I am." And she says, "I was channeling your energy and he came to me." And I said, "What do you mean he came to you?" She goes, "He passed away 2 years ago, but he came to me. He has some things he wants to say to you, but he has a very dirty mouth." And I said, "Well, that sounds like me so far." She said, "Do you want me to paraphrase it, or do you want me to just tell you exactly what he said?" I said, "Paraphrase nothing. Tell me exactly what he's saying." And she said, "He's with me right now." He said, "Kid, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I couldn't keep my D in my pants. I effed everything that moved." And I was just like, So I said, "Anything else?" She says, "Yeah, he says he wants you to go meet your sisters." And I said, "I have sisters?" He says, "Yeah, you got two of them." I said, "Ask him how I find them." She says, "Call my fourth wife. This is her name. She lives on this street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania." So I'm like, this is bananas. So I call back the detective and I say, "Listen, I need you to do one more search for me, and I'm not paying you any more money." And he said, "Listen, I did the search. You gave me bad information." So I go, "Just do one more search for me." So he does one more search for me. He finds the guy's fourth wife. I call her. I meet my biological sisters. I have dinner with them. I know them. But let's get back to Jesus. So anyway, so she says, "All right, you owe me." She goes, "I got a book deal with HarperCollins Press. I have a new book coming out that I'm writing with Jesus Christ." And I said, "Come again?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm channeling Christ, who prefers to be called by his Hebrew name, Yeshua of Nazareth." So I'm like, okay. And, maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. So anyway, I drive down to San Diego and we do this photo shoot, and here's a frame from it, and we're mid-shoot, and we're shooting on these ancient petroglyphs, and she starts giggling in a not-so-funny moment. And I said, "You all right over there?" And she goes, "He's with us." I said, "Who's with us?" She said, "Yeshua." I go, "Yeshua's here with us on this photo shoot right here, right now." And she says, "Yeah." She goes, "He thinks you're really funny." I said, "No way. Will you ask him if he'll give me a quote for my book?" And she goes, "And is she writing books through Christ? Maybe, maybe not. She was correct for me. Who knows? But she just thinks I'm funny."